Hey there, welcome to Technability. I'm Barrage. What we have here is an iPad 4 running iOS 7 Gold Master. So if you've watched my previous iPad 4 running iOS 7 video, I was basically showcasing Beta 6, and now here with Gold Master, you got subtle improvements, you got a few things that they've changed, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the entirety of the OS. Even though, again, I've covered a lot of these features with the previous video, I'm going to go ahead and recover everything for anybody who hasn't seen that previous beta video. Alright, so first thing we're going to look at, of course, is the lock screen. You can see here with the lock screen, alright, you got the normal, of course, iOS 7 lock screen. So if you swipe your finger over to the left, nothing happens. Swipe it over to the right from anywhere on the screen, you unlock the device. If you swipe down from the, if you swipe up from the bottom, you get the control center. You can see the various different things here. You got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, airplane mode, auto rotate, you got camera, you got clock, you got the music player, you got brightness, and then you got volume. Now what you're missing here that you're going to get on the iPhone 5 or 4S is the flashlight. And the reason why, of course, is because the iPad doesn't have a flash. So this is how the control center looks when you're in portrait. Let's go to landscape. You can see here, basically the same. It's not customizable, so you're not going to be able to change those toggles. Alright, and then if you swipe down from the top, you get the notification center. Now you can see it's transparent. It's always going to be transparent. And one thing that they've done is they have added these to the left and right side. They've added the notification center to basically cover the entirety of your screen. Whereas in the past, you had basically only a quarter of the screen basically covered by the notification center. But again, the data that you get, or the information that's posted here, is still only going to be right in the middle. And you have gesture based here, so you can swipe over to the left to go to your Alt tab, or swipe over to the right to go to Mist. Right, let's get out of there, and you can obviously see the camera here. Just bounce that. You can open the camera. Oh, let's try that again. One more time. No, one more time. There we go. Got the camera. Alright, so let's go ahead and unlock the display. You can see you can also get a password you could set. Alright, now you can see obviously the wallpaper, right? So the wallpaper, you're wondering, is this a customized wallpaper? No. Apple has included new wallpapers here with iOS 7 Gold Master, and that's from previous beta builds. You can see right here in terms of the still wallpapers, this is what you're going to get. So you got all these various different still wallpapers, and they're all new, or at least majority are new. Right, you can see again, you got the nice high quality wallpapers, you got the more colorful wallpapers to fit the whole theme of iOS 7. If you go back, which you could do by just gesture, oh, you can't gesture back on the iPad, excuse me, because obviously you can see that it's set in a way so that you don't have to gesture. But with the iPhone, when you have this screen showing, or when you have one screen showing in settings, you can actually gesture back. Now if we go back here by clicking on choose, you can see the dynamic wallpapers, which if you're used to Android lingo, that would be live wallpapers. And you can see the different colors that they've added. Just go ahead and look at red here. You could set as both. You just give it a second. It's going to go ahead and set that. And you can see the live wallpaper here. And you also, of course, have that whole motion thing going on. That whole, 3DS or FA3DS thing. All right, there's the red wallpaper. Let's go back to dynamic. And let's just put the blue one. Let's see what the blue one looks like. You see nice, gorgeous retina display. So it's going to look good on the iPad 4's screen, no doubt about that. Okay, you can see everything's transparent. Again, the notification center transparent, the control center transparent. So that's the whole theme that they're going with. The folder is transparent. All right, and the folders, of course, if you're not used to iOS 7 folders, this is what you're going to get. Now, if you could see that there's these little tabs right here, or these little dots right here below. This is actually to swipe over to your second, third, or fourth screen in your folder. So you can set up, multiple screens here. And it's convenient, and it's consistent with the rest of the OS, which utilizes, swiping your finger over to the left or swiping over to the right to access other apps. So it's consistent across the board, which is really good. And now you no longer have the ability to swipe over to get Spotlight. Rather, you swipe down on any display, and you can access Spotlight that way. So you can see again, if I just swipe down, I access Spotlight. All right, now let's go ahead and look at Safari here. You can see the way that Safari is set up. All right, you got tabs. So if I click right here, you can see the various different tabs above. Right, let me just go ahead and zoom in here on the tabs. You got, obviously you got your favorites, which you could set as whatever you like. You got favorites here. And you also have reader mode now. So if you're in a website that has a lot of text or pictures and you don't want the pictures to load up or whatnot, there's actually a little reader mode right here that'll show up, which is very convenient. Of course, you have incognito mode now. And one of the things here that I like about the browser on the iPhone for the iPad for iOS 7 is the nice little 3D thing that they got going on with the tabs. Obviously, with the iPad, you don't need that because it's big enough to be able to just have normal tabs up top. Okay, so now if I was to take 5 fingers and zoom out, you can see what happens there. That's basically the whole multi-touch feature. Alright, so you could just do that to close out of an app. Let's say I'm in Pandora here. I could do that with Pandora as well, or what I could do is take my fingers and just swipe over to get to the next app or the previous app that I was in, which is really convenient again in terms of just quick and easy multitasking. You can always just, of course, double click on the home screen or double click on the home button and just swipe away if you don't want them there. I could swipe 2 away. I can go back to one of the apps if I so please. Again, I could pinch back in. And also another feature is if you were to just swipe up, you can actually get the multitasking that way instead of having a double tap on the home button. So they've had these features in iOS for a while now, but it's just, again, a little bit more consistent with the whole iOS look and feel on the iPad. Let's go ahead and show you guys how the camera looks. Alright, let me go ahead and demonstrate this for you guys here. Okay, you can see the camera, right? Simple concept. Now, one thing you don't get here are filters. Again, you get that on the iPhone. You're not going to get that here with the iPad. So you don't have filters, but you have video mode and you have square mode. You don't have panorama, and you just swipe down or swipe up, or if you're in, obviously, in this mode, you can do that as well. You can swipe up, get the video, square, and panorama. Now, if you're in video, cool thing is that you can record a video, and you could actually. Okay, so if you're recording a video, I guess you can't zoom in. Okay, so that's a feature that's not there. So you can't zoom in, you can't take a picture while you're recording a video, which is interesting. You could do that on the iPhone, but I guess that's not available on the iPad. In any case, you can see there's a front-facing camera. Alright, which is, again, common sense, front-facing camera. Now if you were to click right here on the bottom, alright, you get to your images. Alright, so here's the video that I took. Alright, let's just go ahead and swipe over. There's the other video, and here's an image of the LG G2. Okay, now here's the thing. You want to share this image? It's easy. All right, you click this button right here, which is the share button. You could share one, you could share multiple photos at once, and you can upload it to your Twitter, to your Facebook, to your Flickr, iCloud. You can send it through mail or messages. Of course, you could set it as wallpaper, assign to contact, print, etc. And the great thing is that you can do multiple pictures at once. It's very convenient. It's all image-based, so it's right there in front of you. It's minimal. It's easy to see. It's big icons. And it's convenient, but you can't, and there's AirDrop, of course, I have to mention that as well. Now, you can't add third-party apps to the sharing option, so third-party apps aren't going to integrate here with this, which some people have their own personal opinions on. I think they should allow that. Hopefully one day they will, but for now you can't do that. Right now, if we were to just go ahead and cancel here, all right, you can see it'll take you back to your gallery, which you could just kind of pinch in, take a photo, and do whatever it is that you like. That photo, you can see that there's various different galleries. If I was to click on done, it's going to take me back to the camera. Alright, so let's go ahead and locate gallery here. Okay, so you got different albums. You can customize and set albums by pushing the plus button here. Alright, you can see how that works. Very simple. Okay, now if I was to take one of these images, I can of course edit the image. They have their own little editing thing here, so you can click on edit, and you got multiple different editing options right down here. You got rotate, enhance. So you can auto-enhance the picture, turn that off. You got filters, which the filters are located here, so they're not actually in the camera software when you're taking a photo like the iPhone, but they are here. You can see you can set it as chrome, process, transfer, instant, noir, fade, etc. You could apply it by just pushing apply. You could save it. Obviously, you got crop features, etc. So let's go ahead and save that to camera roll. Simple enough. All right, so that's that's the editing feature here on the gallery. Okay, now let's go back to the settings, and let me just show you guys Siri. So just to let you know that Siri does have a male counterpart, so you could set that as a male. If we were to just go to Wi-Fi here and connect to a network. Alright, so Siri you could set as a male, and you can also, if any of you are having issues where the notification might be, it might not be transparent, what you want to do is head to accessibility, go to increase contrast, and make sure that that's turned off. Because if it's turned on, see that, it's going to be it's not going to be transparent anymore, so keep that in mind. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and just run a third-party game here, show you guys how that looks, or how that runs. So let's go ahead and run Temple Run 2. Let's see. Just to let you know that games do run fine on this tablet with iOS 7 Gold Master. You can see how the game runs here. perfectly fine. Looks good. Fast frame rates. Oop. And I lost it. Alright, so there's Tempo Run 2. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and showcase Siri here. And we got the male Siri. Hey, Siri.
Hi, Jonathan.
How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
Aren't you going to ask how I'm doing?
I suppose it's possible.
Why don't you tell me the weather, okay?
It should be nice between today and Saturday.
I don't agree. You got stuck that I didn't agree.
Did I say you did?
Did I say you did? Why don't you just tell me a joke, okay?
2 iPhones walk into a bar.
God.
I forget the rest.
Ah, yes, you do. What is 3 times 3 minus 9 to the 3rd power?
Checking my sources. The answer is minus 720.
Are you better than Google now?
I don't really have anything to say about Google now, or ever.
Turn on Bluetooth.
Okay, I turned on Bluetooth.
Decrease brightness.
I made it a bit darker.
Set reminder tomorrow 4 p.m. Need to review iPhone 5s.
Here's your reminder for tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Cancel reminder.
Okay.
Read me my notifications.
There are no new notifications.
Open App Store. Voila, it opens the App Store. One thing I like about the iPad App Store that you don't get with the iPhone is you have more options showing up on one screen when you search something or whatnot. Now you don't get that with the iPhone. You only get one app showing on each screen, and you can kind of see the second app to the right of the first app, but it's very, it's just kind of condensed, and it's in a card layout, which I'm not a big fan of. I prefer this. I think this, of course, you could see everything in one screen, and it's just much more convenient. All right, so there's the App Store. Let's go ahead and show you guys Notes here. All right, very simple, common Notes app. All right, you can see I can go ahead and create a new note here. Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you today? What's going on? Do you think that we can go hang out tomorrow? It's really nice weather, and I think that we could do something fun. Well, guys, it doesn't get more generic than that. Hey, how are you? There you go. Types it all out. Okay, so that's pretty comprehensive, pretty consistent. I can multitask and close out of everything that I was just in. See, this is kind of how it looks with the iPhone and the App Store. You get one app. Kind of see the second one there. All right, and close out. Go back here. All right, let's go ahead and look at a website while we're online. Of course, Technability. Check out technability.com, guys. Original content updated all day, every day. Literally, I update it all day, every day. If there's some new information that my sources are sending me, I update it. All right, so we're going to technability.com. And we can close out of a tab here. You can see by just pushing that little X. And it's not loading. Okay, there's Technability. Pinch zoom, super fluid, super fast. That's one thing you gotta appreciate about iOS, fast pinch zoom. Arguably industry tops. You can see if I was to just push on it or click on a link, it takes me to that link. I'm gonna show you guys basically what reader mode looks like. And there's reader mode. Again, it doesn't show you any of the images, or the first image it'll show you, but it won't show you the rest. Or I think you could set it up so that it doesn't show you the images. I think it does for the most part. But in any case, it shows the links that are hyperlinked in the article. You can see how that looks right there. Again, if I was to just let this load, and this is the 5 tips to purchasing your next smartphone article that I wrote. You guys can check that out. It's quite helpful. Alright, so again, the reader mode will load this up as well. You can double click and you can basically scale it to the screen. You could scroll, of course. There's no checkerboarding. And I can just exit out quick and easy. Now in terms of overall speed, it's fast, it's fluid. They've definitely upgraded in that regard. It just feels more consistent, more fluid, more fast when you pan through screens or when you're bringing down the notification center, when you're gesturing through certain tasks. Like again, if I was to go to Safari and I was to just gesture back, I could do that. I could pinch in, or I could basically take 4 fingers or 5 fingers and just swipe over to the next app. And it's really quick. I mean, everything is fast, everything is fluid, and I could just pinch in again and close out. Now let's go ahead and look at the sounds which have changed, and then we'll wrap this up. Alright, so some of the sounds have changed, and I'll show you guys what I mean here. So let's see, let's do text tone, tritone. You can see what this sounds like here. I don't know about that. Alright, it's a little bit different, has a little bit more of a ringer to it there. Alright, so let's go text tone and sounds, and let's say ringtone. Alright, so let's see, where would the okay, so let's hear some of the new sounds. They just sound a little bit more digital, I suppose, is what they're kind of trying to go with there. But the sounds, you know, are different, especially the notification sounds. And you don't get the unlock sound anymore, so if you guys are wondering, when you unlock the device, there's no sound. Alright, so here's the music app. You can see how this looks here, of course. You know, you got iTunes Radio. Really nice. I mean, the Apple Music app is really top-notch. They've done a good job in terms of where they've come from the first iteration of iTunes to this. And if you were to go into the lock screen, you can see the music will play in the lock screen. I could unlock. And of course, you're also going to have it here in the control center. And you'll have it in the control center and on the lock screen at the same time. Okay. Show you guys. Alright, so it's there and it's there. Okay, unlock. Let's go ahead and look at the maps here real quick. Okay, so there's maps, Apple Maps, nothing changed here. Alright, so Apple Maps looks perfectly fine, same as it always has. Alright, that's pretty much that for iOS 7, guys. Again, the calendar, you guys have seen what the calendar looks like. You can add events. Again, it's gone with that whole minimalist theme, minimalist look. So I think it looks good in terms of what the calendar looks like, and there's the music playing. You can pause it from there. Instead of having to double click and go down to where it used to be, now you could just kind of swipe up the control center and pause it or play it from there, which is nice. Get the volume as well, auto rotate as well, lock auto rotate if you want. Here's the calendar again. They've gone with the whole minimalist look, minimalist feel. You got day, week, month, year. All right, so that's there with the calendar. Swipe out. Okay, go home. So again, they've gone with the whole consistent minimalist look and feel, and they really have honed it up from previous beta builds to Gold Master, which again you should expect within the next few days. And really, it looks good. Just for what it is, it looks good. It feels good. There are still some improvements that need to be made, but for the most part, this is ready for prime time. I mean, there's no doubt about it. That Gold Master for the iPad is ready for prime time. I think it runs perfectly fine. I think as a daily driver, it's good to go. Really, there's nothing for me to complain about here. Podcast, FaceTime works fine. Again, for any of you who are worried about FaceTime, FaceTime looks and works fine. You got messages here. You can see how messages look like. All right, so everything is good to go. All right, thank you guys for watching Technability. My name is Berge. This is the iPad 4 with iOS 7 Gold Master. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also check out www.technability.com. We have original content updated there every day. So again, don't forget to check that out. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.